YouTube Nation! Welcome for the first ever one of these videos. Not the first time we've done this, but what's happened for, I don't know, maybe a year, 2 years or so, we get on a text thread with our buddy Scott, and even Nikki joins in every now and again, and we will gamble a ripe sum of a beer, which I am not sure anybody has ever collected any of these, to be real honest.
Ever.
But we take WWE pay-per-views, and we bet on who we think is going to win, and it's normally a beer.
Yeah.
Feel like I'm up a lot of beers. I do not get any.
I am not very, I think I'm not very good.
No, she's terrible.
I think I've won one time in a year. Our guinea pigs are going crazy.
Going crazy. So, we've got the WWE Elimination Chamber.
Yeah.
Now, the funny thing about this is, I think a lot more people watch wrestling than what they let on to.
Yeah.
I think it's kind of an underlying thing. Now, obviously, they've got the network, all that good stuff. So, what we're going to do is tell you about the matches. We're going to give you our predictions, surely to go wrong, because this is the last of the pay-per-views before WrestleMania, which is kind of like the Super Bowl
of wrestling.
That. So just a little backstory since it's the first one. Are you into wrestling?
I love a wrestling.
Okay. Why do you love a wrestling?
Because it's like a soap opera, but they hit each other.
Okay. I was very big into wrestling as a child. Very big. Lost it about the college era, then come back and become friends with Scott. Found out he was a wrestle nut. Started watching it again, and I don't watch it all that much. I will watch the pay-per-views. I have come to, like, Beck watches the shows and stuff now on Mondays and Wednesdays and Fridays.
Yeah.
And for me, I can almost catch up on the pay-per-view, so it's not like I feel like I'm missing anything because they're so frequent, and nothing happens on TV anyway except for a build-up and a build-up and a build-up, and then a pay-per-view happens, and then there's a build-up and a build-up and a build-up, and nothing ever resolves. That's my thing. So, we're going to go, it looks like she's got the card up here, and that is from what website? Bleacher Report. So we don't really know if there's anything added. Now, if there is a match that is on like the pre-show, we normally bet those, but they're not on this card, I don't think. Because there's only, what, 7?
6.
6. So we're going to go from the bottom to the top. So the women's tag team champions.
Yeah, this just got added last night on SmackDown.
Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler. And that is the Boss, Sasha, and Bianca. Who won the Royal Rumble?
EST.
Yes. Who's your prediction?
I think I'm gonna go Sasha and Bianca.
Why?
Because they've like put it out there where like Nia and Shayna are like button heads already and all that stuff. And like Reginald came in. I don't know. Something weird's gonna happen. But I think Reginald's going to help and make it where Sasha and Bianca win. Okay,
here's my thought about this. Is that I think Nia and Shayna are going to win.
Okay.
But there's going to be a bad blood between Sasha and Belair because Belair won. She hasn't picked who she's fighting at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
I think that leads into her picking Sasha for a championship match at WrestleMania.
That's a good theory.
That's why I'm better at this than you.
Oh, I think I'm good at it.
All right, next one. United States Championship Triple Threat Bobby Lashley, who's the champion, versus Riddle and Keith Lee.
Bro.
Dude. All right, who you got in this one, ladies first?
I picked Riddle.
I think that is a very good pick. Why do you pick Riddle?
Because they have made him out to be like Lashley, and I think Keith Lee, maybe not, but like he keeps getting beat up so badly, and he just like keeps going back for more, and he's just the underdog, and I think they're finally gonna let him, like they've built up Lashley and all this to like make it this big thing, and I think finally Riddle's gonna win.
I think you're right about that, except you're one pay-per-view away from that
Oh,
happening.
WrestleMania.
So I'm going to go with Bobby Lashley to retain the title, but I think there's going to be something to where Riddle and Lashley fight again, and at WrestleMania, and then that's when I will take.
See, I don't think about
That's when I will take Riddle. All right. This is an interesting matchup.
Yeah.
And it's going to be a little hard for us to pick this one because they have not announced it as of the recording of this video.
Yeah.
So, this is the Raw Women's Championship. Asuka, who's the champion, versus the mysterious TBA, the to be announced. What's the girl's name that is pregnant? I forgot her name. I just had a...
That's pregnant?
That Flair's having a thing with.
Oh, no, I just went blank.
We're going to flash a picture of her.
Something at Lacey Evans.
There we go. So what I think is going to happen is I think Asuka will come out and I think she is going to fight Charlotte. And I think Charlotte's going to win. Now, apparently, and this is by flipping no means going to turn into like a wrestling news or any kind of like an update. Like we're literally just going to do these maybe on the podcasts, on the pay-per-views,
Weekend.
if this is kind of fun or if anybody watches it.
Yeah.
But apparently that Lacey chick is for real pregnant.
I figured.
Like
really
it's a legit. I don't think it's from like little things I've read and what's been reported, just a little bit, like haven't done a deep dive, but
like they're working it into
right. It's not like a Ric Flair impregnated the lady and is having that thing as a story with Charlotte, which by the way would be awesome if they did that. That would be the greatest thing of all time. But I think she's truly pregnant. But that's my guess.
Not by Ric Flair.
That's correct, by
her husband,
Bobby
or boyfriend,
Tim,
or whoever.
Yeah. But whomever comes out during the Asuka fight, I don't know. I honestly think it sets up Asuka to lose the title.
I think Asuka's going to lose because she's had it for a while, and if it's anytime Charlotte fights, I always pick Charlotte because I love her and I love the Flairs. They're my favorite. I love them. So if it's Charlotte, I pick Charlotte for sure.
Well, we'll have to decide that at the time of the actual pay-per-view because unless it comes out, but I'm not redoing this. So, but I do think if it's anybody of some substance, I'm gonna go against Asuka.
Me too.
If it's Lana, I'm going Asuka.
Lana's
you know
not
what I mean?
Winning
so
anything.
All right.
So we gotta switch it up because now it's the Elimination Chamber.
That's right. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go to the WWE Championship Elimination Chamber match. That is Drew McIntyre, who's the champion, Sheamus, Randy Orton, AJ Styles, Kofi Kingston, and Jeff Hardy. So whoever wins this one is the champion.
Yeah. This is for all the big bucks.
This one is. But it's not as big as the other one that we're getting ready to talk to. All right, go ahead.
I think I'm going to stick with Drew McIntyre because I'm cheating from you because WrestleMania's coming, and then I think Drew McIntyre and Sheamus will have a thing at WrestleMania.
I do think there is going to be a Sheamus McIntyre feud. It makes sense from their lineage and all that. I don't think they take it off Drew, but I mean, Lord, they did it with Orton so I mean, it wouldn't shock me if he doesn't, but I'm not going there with the pick. All right, so we agree on one. You might get one right. Good job.
Hey!
I was perfect at this last time we did it.
You did get everything right.
So the last one we have on our bullet points is the Universal Championship #1 contender elimination match.
It's not the last one because there's one after.
Well,
this.
that's true, but it's kind of tied to this.
That's true.
So what happens in this elimination chamber is Kevin Owens, Uso, what is it,
Jey Uso,
Cesaro, Daniel Bryan, and Sami Zayn and King Corbin.
Yeah.
So that's an elimination chamber. So what will happen is the winner of this one goes
to the next fight
right afterwards.
Yeah, they have to fight.
So
right
it has
after.
to come out and fight Roman Reigns. All right. So first, who are you picking in the #1 contender chamber match?
I feel a little bit torn because I think they've really thrown me for a loop because last night they were talking up each person. Sami Zayn's not going to win. He's stupid. But they were talking up each person. But I could see Cesaro. They've really been talking up Cesaro. And they really made him the big show last night. But also I think it would be really interesting if they made Jey Uso win. Because then he would have to fight his family. So I think I'm going to go crazy and pick Jey Uso.
Okay.
I want that to happen.
So then, immediately, ding, 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 Jey Uso wins. He has to go fight Roman. Who wins between Roman and Jey Uso?
I'm gonna go Jey Uso.
That's stupid.
I don't care. I don't care.
Okay.
I don't care. I'm doing it.
Okay. So that's why she never wins.
Soap opera.
You do have good thinking. So here's my kind of thought about each of them. I think Kevin Owens, I've played music for 20 plus years now.
Yeah.
Kevin Owens looks like almost every bouncer I've ever seen in a bar.
Yeah.
I hate Kevin Owens. I used to love him, and he's a great wrestler. He's awesome on the mic, but he is literally like a pregnant wrestler out there. He is it is terribly not fun to watch.
He does flips and stuff.
I know,
it's awkward.
But that's
it makes me nervous. I think he's gonna get hurt.
Well, I mean, he's got a belly to bounce off of. He'll be just fine.
Well, I mean,
I don't think there is a shot on God's green earth that Jey Uso wins. I think Cesaro is gonna win.
Okay.
I will pick Cesaro to win. DB, I don't think Daniel's on kind of his last run.
Yeah.
I think there's going to be something cool to be done with him. But they built it up last night way too much with him and Edge talking.
Yeah.
And I can't imagine that they're going to let Daniel win. But before I say that, I also think Daniel's the only one in that group that comes out. If he comes out, he's got a shot of taking over Roman.
Of beating him.
Yes. Because what I do think will end up happen is if I do think if Roman loses, the Usos are going to be the cause of the falter. And then I think you're going to see that kind of Nation of Domination throwing it back. Where The Rock kind of was over Farouk and kind of doing I think that kind of whole storyline will come back.
Yeah.
But my pick is Cesaro, and then Reigns wins. I don't think they're taking the belt off of Reigns going into WrestleMania.
I just don't know if they're gonna because Edge still hasn't picked, and at this point, I don't want Edge to fight Roman Reigns. It's getting on my nerves. Roman Reigns is getting on my nerves.
So there is one more thing
that
we have to do.
What is it?
So, and I can't remember who it was. I think it was Uso that took his spot. I think because the Miz, Mr. Money in the Bank, was supposed to be in the #1 contender, but he took himself out of it. So, do you think the Miz cashes in the Money in the Bank
right now
at this
No.
Elimination Chamber?
No,
You do not.
I think he's waiting for WrestleMania.
I think it's cashed in, and I think it will not be won.
I think he's waiting for WrestleMania. Why wouldn't you?
Because that's, again, I haven't watched a whole lot of the newer stuff. I'm 5 years or 6 years or something, maybe even longer. Hell, who knows? But like the Seth Rollins Money in the Bank cash in at WrestleMania, that's cool. And I think that is still fresh as that's like an icon. The picture of him holding up the championship, the firework going off, that's a pretty iconic, and it stems from Money in the Bank.
Yeah.
And I do not think you can top that at WrestleMania. I think it has to be somewhere else. And there has to be some kind of storyline between Roman. Roman can't be the head dog going into WrestleMania with nobody.
The head of the table.
That's why I don't think that's going to happen. I think there will be.
There's so many options.
There is, but that's kind of where I go with it.
Okay.
I do think Cesaro wins.
He's my second choice. He's really my real first choice, but I want to go crazy.
You did not pick him.
I know, but I want to go crazy.
But Cesaro winning, they can kind of put him over of like having it's just waylaying on Reigns and almost wins, and Uso interferes. Roman's kind of down for the count. The Miz comes in, cashes in. Miz is going to WrestleMania as your champion.
Oh, that's interesting. That's interesting.
Miz isn't fighting the Edge. Edge is probably going to fight. I think Edge will fight.
Balor.
That's exactly who I think.
That's who I think.
I think they'll pull that whole Charlotte Flair going to NXT kind of a thing and all that. So, and that's a title Edge hasn't won, and they want Edge to have all the titles.
Yeah.
But we'll talk about that as a later date.
Okay.
Okay. We will maybe do a recap podcast. It's not a podcast. Why do I keep saying? I feel like this is a podcast. This whole thing, we're going to maybe do a recap to see where Jeremy was right and Rebecca was wrong.
I'm gonna win some.
I will bet you a donut.
Okay.
All right, we'll see what happens. Peace out, Hope Skillets. Yeah.
Woo!